Okay, just to let you guys know a little bit about who I am. I was a high school English teacher and then a high school librarian, and I am now an instructional technology specialist. I work with teachers and students grades 5 through 12. My first 2 years I worked with elementary as well, and then I was ever so grateful that they hired a partner to work with me, and now she does pre-K through 4 because I'm not so good with the littles. Their hands are always sticky and you don't usually know why. I work much better with kids that are bigger than me. So that's what I've been doing for the last 7 years. And I basically saw our teachers through the transition to Google, and we are a Canvas district, but we work well with Google, I think. So this is going to be all about tips and tricks to save you clicks. Hopefully you guys have gotten into the bit.ly. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to start by looking at some time-saving tools. We're going to talk a lot about Google Chrome, then we'll move on to some extensions. And one of the biggest things that I think can save you some time is what I think is the best way to have multiple profiles. So a lot of these things may be things that you're already familiar with, but hopefully you'll find something new so that I don't waste your time this morning. So we're going to start with some time-saving tools. And the first one we're going to talk about is Flippity. So Flippity is something that I know a lot of my teachers know about, but I think they forget about it. And I don't know that they know about all of the new things that are available. So one of the best things about Flippity is the random name picker. I know a lot of my teachers still use some of the popsicle sticks when they're calling names, but with the random name picker in Flippity, you can go ahead and with a spreadsheet, you can put in all of your students' names, and then it will do a random name picker to go ahead and call on names. You can also do groups. And the thing that I love about the groups is that it will say that they're random, but you can also, if you want to do groups of 3, let's see if it'll do this on the random one. No, okay. So you've got groups of 3, but you know that Jane and Spencer just broke up. Like I said, I taught high school for a long time. I can switch Spencer and Betty, and they're not quite so random anymore. Let's see, there's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, so you can switch the 2 of them before you show this to the class, and then they don't know that you've manipulated them a little bit before you showed them to them. So you have all of these different options. You can do the spinner, you can do a single name, you can do the groups, you can do the teams, you can even do the seating chart if you need to. So if you want to have that seating chart up on the board before the first day of class and just help to learn their names, you can have this. It'll randomly make them. You can put them up on the board and let the kids find their seat that first day. And then you can, manipulate it as you need to switch them around for the next day or a week later after you started to learn their names. So Flippity is one of my favorites. They've got some newer ones that they've just come out with. The timeline I thought was really neat. Where'd the timeline go? Oh yeah, here's their demo timeline. So this is a demo timeline that they have for Mr. Rogers. And as you click through, it will go through and give you all this information. And you can add pictures and videos to the timeline. And the nice thing about Flippity is everything is created with a Google spreadsheet. So you put all this information into the spreadsheet, and then it makes this interactive timeline for you. The other nice thing that they've just added, I don't know if you guys are all in on the Wordle craze, but they have a version of Wordle as well. Of course, they can't call it Wordle. They call it, what do they call it? Oh, I wrote it down. What do they call it? Wordmaster. So you can have the students playing Wordmaster to, get exposed to new vocabulary. So Flippity is a favorite with my teachers. There are a lot of different things here that you can use it for. But again, with the random name picker, you can go ahead and put that spreadsheet in with each of your different hours if you're a high school teacher, And you can bookmark those first hour, second hour, third hour, fifth hour, so on. And you can get back to that flippity once you've got them created. So, and they've even made it now where you can skip the spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets, so I would go ahead and do it that way. The nice thing here too is that because it's a Google product, you can have kids do that. They can make their own flashcards. They can make their own quiz show. And then, you can have the students play it as well. If you like the if you like the electronic breakout rooms, you can do those with Flippity as well. So Flippity, favorite tool. I really like it. I like its versatility. And I like that once you've learned how to do it with the spreadsheet, you've got exposure to all of these different tools. So very versatile. So many of my, especially elementary and middle school teachers, love Classroom Screen. So Classroom Screen gives you a lot of different tools in one as well. A timer, dice, whiteboard, the work symbols, and it's so versatile because once you go to Classroom Screen and you get logged in, you can customize it however you want. So you have all these tools down here at the bottom. You can change the background, make it however you want it to be. You've got a lot of different options here. With the mountains. You've got a random name picker here as well. But if you need dice for something, you can put those up there and they'll roll around. If you need to keep it, you need a sound level and you need it to be, controlled. You can tell the kids how loud it can get in there and it'll monitor that for you. If you want to tell them what kind of media, you can embed YouTube right up there. You can have that as well. This is the one that I think a lot of my teachers are using. What kind of level of sound can we get to? Are you allowed to be, are you supposed to be quiet? Can it be a whisper? Can you ask your neighbor? What's allowed during work time today? Some of my teachers even use this for what are we doing as far as devices today? Is it a green light, red light, yellow light, or red light? So there are a lot of different tools down here, and you can have a bunch of them up there all at once. And you can control what they look like. So Classroom Screen, again, another popular tool, another functional tool, and you can manipulate it and control it and make it very useful. Oh yeah, the timer, I even forgot to point that one out. A lot of the teachers will go to YouTube to put a timer up there, but with Classroom Screen, if this is something that you're accustomed to, it's very easy and it's all in one spot. Okay, Slides Mania. If you use Google Slides and you don't know about Slides Mania or Slides Carnival or Slides Go, you are so missing out because Slides Mania, which is my personal favorite of the three, has so many different templates available for you. And they're so much better than the ones that are built into Google Slides. There's just not a lot of different options there. And there are so many things that you can find here when you go to Slides Mania. And the thing I love about Paula is that she is a designer. Like, she has got a lot of options here for you. They are well designed and everything is free. So if you look through here, she's got so many different options, and they're not just all slides. She's got notebook styles, she's got games, she's got choice boards. I have one teacher who used to have her students make a game board to review after she had taught them something, but now she's got them doing these interactive games. And she has added some things here to the games since the last time I looked at it, because this was the last one that I had seen. But now there's 2 truths and a lie, there's true and false. Wow, I'm finding some new stuff today too. This is awesome. Categories, I can't wait to go through and dig into this a little bit more. Interactive trivia game template. Okay, I know what I'm doing this afternoon. I don't know about you guys, but this looks like a lot of fun to me. So this looks fantastic. So Paula is always adding new stuff here. And this is just what she has under education, but then there's all of her slide presentation templates that she has as well. So all of these are available. and they work for PowerPoint or for Google Slides, and they're just very well done. They're very aesthetically pleasing, and she has a lot of different options for you as far as the different slides themselves, and they're easy to incorporate your material. The thing about this is, I know this is tips and tricks to save you clicks, but this particular one does not necessarily save you time, because you want to look at all of them to figure out which one is the best. And there are so many of them that you can kind of go down a rabbit hole. You can see which one I picked or which one I kind of copied off of. And you just, once you've decided which one you want, then you come down here and you open it up and save it as a template, and then you install it for you to use. So yeah, this is the one that I'm using today. So Slides Mania, Slides Carnival, Slides Go, they all work the same way. Slides Mania is just my personal favorite. And then there are some templates. So as far as saving you some time and some clicks, you could make all of these yourself, but why when somebody else has already done it? So our kids are so into social media. These are 14 different templates that lots of other people have created. Some of them were created by Paula and are there on Slides Mania, but you can have your students do an Amazon review. You can have them do a social media reply, Yelp, Spotify playlist. You can have them do these as people from history. You can have them do them as characters. You can have them tweet for somebody, do an Instagram story, as if they're a different character, or as if they're reacting to something that happened in science. Would you rather? Lots of different options here. Facebook profile, I mean, you know, kids aren't really that inspired by Facebook because that's what us old people use. But a lot of different options here for them, and they're already created, and it doesn't require them actually having the app. So it's a great way to get something very current, something very relevant, something that the kids are very interested in, without them having to actually have the app. So again, already done, very professional looking. You don't have to recreate the wheel. And then there's also a texting template here for you. So these are some great ways that you can save yourself some time just by using these apps and these designs that are already created for you. All right, back to home. Sorry. There's where we want to get back to home. All right, some things that we can do in Google Chrome. All right, these little things can really add up. So if you don't already know that you can edit what you have here on your bookmarks bar, I want to make sure that you're aware of that, because that is one of my favorite things to teach teachers when I'm there helping them with something else, because a lot of them don't realize that whatever text is here with their bookmarks, they can edit that. So if you right click on those icons, a lot of times they're going to have something like this. Actually, this one is usually longer. So you may have an icon that looks like this if you guys use Tyler Sys as your student information system, and it may take up a lot of space on your bookmarks bar. I know that this little icon is the icon for our student information system. So I can right click on that, go down to edit, and I can just delete all of that and hit save. And now I've got a lot more room up here on my bookmarks bar. This is iReady. I know that. I know this is Gmail. This is the icon that comes for our school webpage. This is Gmail, our calendar. This is Canvas. This is Drive. I don't need anything to tell me that. I know all of those icons. These are both spreadsheets. This is a Google Doc. Those I don't necessarily know which ones they are. So I do need those icons there. What I can do though, is I can drag these around. I can rearrange them if I want. Under other bookmarks, I have folders. I had another one here and I moved it. Oh, there it is, my JJHS one. So I can drag that back up here so that I have my 3 school bookmarks right there if I need them. So just realize that you can go ahead and you can edit these bookmarks, you can rearrange them, And if you don't have your bookmarks bar visible, come up here to the three dots and go down to bookmarks and make sure that you have that show bookmarks bar checked. That's the first thing you have to do before any of those other things. I'm sorry, I should have done that first. Group tabs is something that they've just recently added. So you can see I have this RSET tab. All I had to do is right click and go to add tab to group, and I can add, so you can see here, this RSET tab is yellow. If I right click and I add tab to group, do I want it in a new group or do I want it in RSET? Well, let's go ahead and put that in RSET because that's part of my RSET presentation. Now it's outlined in yellow as well. So maybe I want to go ahead and make a new tab, and let's make a new group. And let's name this daily and say, let's go ahead and do that. And maybe this would be like my Gmail, like a tab that I'm going to open every day. And Canvas, because I'm going to open Canvas every day. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that those are in there. Add tab to group. Oh, I didn't save it. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Now I can drag that in. Yeah, how hard it is to type when somebody's watching you. Good grief. Okay. Add tab to group daily. So you might use tab groups as in tabs that you open every day. You might have a group for like 7th grade ELA, one for 8th grade ELA. The nice thing about it is then you can just close your groups or open them all up real quickly if you need to. So tab groups can be helpful. You can also pin tabs. So like my Canvas tab, I have open every day, all day. If I right click on that and I pin a tab, it's going to make it real small and move it all the way over to the left so that it doesn't get closed, but it doesn't take up as much space because I don't spend all day in Canvas, but I'm in it at some point every day. So that makes it real easy to open it up and switch back and forth to it. Okay, Chrome shortcuts. If you don't use Chrome shortcuts, you're probably not aware of how much time they can actually save you over the course of a day. One study said that over the course of an entire year, using shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts, can actually save you 8 days. I don't know if I believe that, but I definitely think that they save me time over the course of a day. So if you click on this link, it'll take you to all of the Chrome shortcuts. Now, there is no way that I know what all of these shortcuts are or that I even use all of them, but I do have some of my absolute favorite shortcuts. So Control C to copy the highlighted text. I use this all the time. Control V, which I don't think is the natural inclination to think of Control V as paste. I think the natural inclination would be Control P, but Control P is actually print. So I think of Control V as Velcro, V for Velcro. So Control V is paste. And if you want to match the text to the existing formatting. So if you're copying from, an 18 font into someplace where you're typing where it's 12-point font, if you do Control Shift V, it's going to automatically match your existing formatting and you won't have to go back and highlight it and then go change the font size. So Control Shift V can save you some definite time and some clicks as well. Control Shift T, when I show this one to teachers, it's like I've made everyday Christmas. Control Shift T will reopen previously closed tabs and in the order that they were closed. I can't tell you how many times a day I use this one. So if I do Control Shift T right now, it's going to reopen that Canvas tab that I just closed. And if I do it again, let's find out what I closed last. Oh, classroom screen. And I can keep doing it, and it'll keep opening those tabs that I've closed. So this is super helpful. It's really nice when you walk by a student and they close a tab all of a sudden because the teacher walked by, and you can find out what it was that they closed. So that is super helpful to know that trick. Favorite shortcuts, that's where I was. Okay, so that's really helpful. Another thing that I think a lot of teachers don't know, so if I do my username, and then I come over to the mouse and I click down and start typing in my password, that takes some time. If I do my username and then tab, it moves it down right away. So that's a lot faster. I don't think a lot of people realize that they can tab to move from one field to the next. So I don't know that that's on this list of keyboard shortcuts anywhere, but I think that's something that a lot of people don't know, and I think that would definitely save them. Oh, yep, it's right there on that list, favorite shortcuts. I think I added that myself. So I would definitely start using that one. And I think that the more that you use these, if you pick a couple of them and just make a conscious effort to start using them, I think you'll be surprised at how often you do use them. So these are probably the ones that I notice myself using most often. Previously opening tabs, jumping from one field to the next, copying text, pasting with formatting, and the highlighting the link. So if I do Control L, it'll automatically highlight that link for me. I don't have to come up here and copy the whole thing. So that is another one I think that is pretty amazing. Oops, went too far. Sorry about that. All right, so back to home. And this is another pretty amazing thing. If we want to link to a specific point in a page, how long is this going to take to load? Too long because I'm impatient. So I'm just going to show you. So, okay, so here is a web page that's pretty long. All right, so if I want to link to this specific template, all right, if I send you this link, it's going to take you to the top of the page. But if I highlight this and right click and I copy the link to highlight, now if I open it up and I paste that link, it looks like it sent you to the top of the page, but if I wait just a split second, it takes you to the exact link to the exact point where I highlighted that. So all I had to do was highlight, right click, and copy the link to highlight. So that's pretty simple and kind of a game changer, especially when you're doing stuff with students. So I love that new thing. That happened in, I think, Chrome version 90. So probably by this point, most of you are on a more advanced version of Chrome than that. So you should have that ability. All right, back to home. All right, I have a problem with Chrome extensions. I have way too many of them, and I usually have more of them turned off, and I only turn them on when I'm using them, but I turned on several of them because I wanted to show them to you guys today. So Screencastify, I'm sure probably most of you have heard of that. You probably either use Screencastify or Loom if you make screencasts for your students. I prefer Screencastify because of its privacy policies. I don't want my students using Loom at all. I'm okay with teachers using it, although I feel better about Screencastify and their privacy policies. Actually, as far as using it with Chromebooks, Chromebook has a built-in screen recorder now, so students with Chromebooks don't have to use any of them. I just don't know that all of our students are aware of the screen recording that's built into Chrome OS on the Chromebook. So mainly, probably most of them are using Screencastify. Clipboard History Pro, I can't tell you how much I love this extension. So it's this one right here. And all of these are links to the Chrome Web Store so that you can get these extensions if you like them. So Clipboard History Pro will give you your last 150 things that you have copied. So like if I copy this, oops, can't do that, hang on. Okay, let me just go over this document I've been using. So if I copy this, Control C, and I come down here and I paste it, but now I copy this, I can't go back and copy this again, right? Except with Clipboard History Pro, I actually can. So I can go right back here and I can copy it and I can paste it. I can actually go back to things that I copied days ago, as long as they're things that I copied on this device. So this is device specific. I can't go to things that I copied when I was working on my Chromebook. I can go back to things that I copied days ago. So I can go to something I copied 5 days ago and I can paste it. So isn't that amazing? All because I have this extension. So again, I can't tell you how many times I copied it or how many times I've used it. Look, I can go back to 20 days ago. That's how far back I can go. Pretty fabulous. And again, if I were, using a different font, let's see, Alexa Black, and I were in blue, and I did Control-Shift-V, but I haven't actually been typing in that, so it's not working. Let's try this. Let's change it to that and blue. And then let's go copy something. Control-Shift-V, and it pastes there. So that's Control-Shift-V and how that works. Okay, so that is Clipboard History Pro. Absolutely love it. Tab resize. This is a game changer for students with Chromebooks because when they use tab resize, they can do a split screen. So I can split my screen into 4. Can't imagine trying to do that on a Chromebook. That would be terrible. They can do it top and bottom. Side by side is probably the only one I would want to try on a Chromebook. But it will split my screen. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Undo. Okay, so I want to actually select that. And it will split my screen into 2. And then when I'm finished with that, I can just go ahead and restore it back into 1. So it makes it very easy to do a split screen. Now I know I can do that by manipulating it and moving it over and splitting the screen here and doing this myself and dragging it around, but that's so hard to teach students how to do it. And we have extensions in order to make our life easier, so why wouldn't we just do that? So I absolutely love tab resize. Text Blaze is another one that I absolutely love. So this is Text Blaze, and what it allows you to do is make all of these shortcuts. So you decide what you want your shortcuts to be, and you make a little snippet. So like this is one of my snippets, DDONE. So if I go in and I type DDONE, it changes it to done. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. If I type /LET, it changes it to, please let me know if there's anything else I can do to help, Dana. So what they tell you is that you need to make sure that you have snippets that don't appear anywhere else, like in a normal word. So that's why it's DDONE, not just DONE, because otherwise I might use the word done in a normal sentence and it would change to done, please let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. So a lot of my snippets are like the way I close an email. So like you'll see /summer changes to hope you're enjoying your summer vacation. So you can set up, I think, up to 25 snippets for free. And then after that, you have to change to the pro version. So you can see I don't have that many of them because I forget to use them. It's kind of like shortcuts. You have to make a conscious effort to use them. But then once you do, they're amazing. So that is Text Blaze. Color Pick Eyedropper. So I use this one when I'm making like flyers or websites. So you pick the color to match. So I change it to the little crosshairs. And then I can pick this exact shade of blue and it'll give me the hex code for it. And it changes because you can see there's blue shading in here. So if that's the exact shade of blue that I want in the center of those crosshairs, I hit Control V or Control C and it will copy that. See now how it's highlighted? So I copy that and then click on the X to get rid of my eyedropper. And then if I come over here, I can go up to my text color. And when I go to custom, I can change the hex code by Control V and it will select that same hex code. And when I say okay, now if I type in and change it to that color, that is the exact shade of blue that I just chose from that point on there that I selected. So it's really simple. It took me a little bit to get the hang of it because I would forget to click off of it. So I'd select my code, I'd get it highlighted, and then I would have to click off of it, or I would keep dragging it around after I'd gotten the color I wanted. So I have to copy it and then click off. Keep Awake is a complete game changer for students. That is this one right here. It's kind of hard to see right now because it's off. So as you click through it, this will keep a Chromebook from going to sleep. So when the sun's shining, it means that the screen on a student's Chromebook or teacher's Chromebook is going to stay on. It won't go to sleep. When it's the sunset, it means the system will stay awake, but the screen can go blank. So all they'd have to do is tap a key and it would come right back. When it's the moon, it means that it's gone back to its default power saving settings. So if they don't use the keys, if they don't do anything after, I think it's 5 minutes, the Chromebook will go to sleep and they'll have to go ahead and log back in. So basically here, it's always on. They're not gonna have to do anything. It's not gonna go to sleep. Here, they just have to click it and it'll wake right back up. They don't have to log back in. And here they have to log back in. So we've allowed this one because it's it's just tedious for people to have to keep logging back in over and over again. And then Wakelet. A lot of my teachers like this one. I don't know that this is as important to me as it is as some of these other ones, but I know that this is a popular one and I want to make sure to share it with you because it makes it easy for you to organize and share and save content from all across the web. A lot of people do the same thing with Google Keep. It just kind of depends on what your preference is. Okay, now we're getting into the profiles. If you have ever experienced trying to open a document and it being told that you don't have permission because you're logged in with your wrong account, you'll know how frustrating that is. And I think that happens because oftentimes, let's see, let's go back here. A lot of times people will go to this account, and when you come down here, they will come down here to add another account. If you do that, so right now I'm signed in with my school account, and you'll go here and add your personal account. So what happens then is it opens my personal account in a new tab. And then Google gets confused as to which account I'm trying to open something in. So if another colleague from work shares a document with me, then it might try to open with my personal account. Or if I find something on Twitter and I, try to save it, it might get saved to my personal account. And then when I try to open it with my school account, well, it's not shared to that account. I can't tell you how many times that happened before I learned this trick. Instead of adding another account, you want to add a profile. So instead, what you do is you come up here and you add a profile. So you can see I have my school profile, I have my trainer profile, I have my personal profile, we have an ed tech account profile, we have our curriculum one, and I'm going to show you now how to add one. So I'm going to click add. I'm going to sign in with a new profile. We have a student account that I use when I need to see how something works. So I'm going to add our test student account. Whoops. Sorry, try to hit next and I stopped sharing accidentally. Okay, you want to make sure that you sync. Okay, I think I got you back. All right, so we were adding that profile. All right, so that's all I did. I had to sync my account. So now we've got the test student account. What that means is if I want to switch to that account, all I have to do is switch over. And what it does is it opens that one in a new window on top of. So my other account is still back there. You can see that. And it's opened this test student account on top of it. So you won't have that problem with something happening with a document getting shared to the wrong account or being opened in the wrong account. The other thing that I recommend is that every account have a different theme installed for it so that you can tell right away which one you're in. So I've got these stripes. It's a Kate Spade profile or whatever. That's the theme that I have for this profile. My personal Gmail has a polka dot theme installed for it. The curriculum account that we have has just a red theme because our school colors are red and black. So I recommend that you have a specific theme installed so that you can tell immediately which one that you're in and you don't make that mistake. So if you give it each their own theme, that makes it real easy to differentiate. And there is a blog post here from Casey Bell, which you can go back to if you need to later on. She has a video that goes through the steps that I just went through as I was installing our test student account. She has a video and she also has the step-by-step directions. But once I learned this, that made things so much easier. And I don't ever have that problem where I open it up and I open up a document and I can't get to it because it's shared to the wrong profile, the wrong account. So again, much easier as long as you do the profile instead of the account. So if you can remember that or share with your colleagues that they should add an account up here instead of adding it here, that will make your life so much easier. Okay, the last thing we have then are just some other tips and tricks as far as Google Workspace. If any of you do things like an interactive Google Notebook, my science teachers love to do Google Notebooks. And I think that's a great idea. My only problem if I had done that as a teacher would have been trying to make sure that I had all of the slides ready to go before I started the unit. And the video that's in here, it's kind of long, it's 8 minutes long, and the video walks you through step by step how to do that. And it enables you to be able to send it out and update it once you've already sent it out to the students. So it's really not complicated. It sounds kind of complicated, but I think once you've walked through it once, it really wouldn't take you any time at all to figure it out. So let's see. Let's try it with this, this set of slides. So the thing is, you have to go through with your slides. And you want to make a copy of it. So I would name it teacher copy. And you don't want to do file, make a copy. So that would be your instinct, is to go to make a copy. Don't do that. Go back to your drive and make a new document, a new slide presentation. And then do the same name. And change it to student copy. And then what you're going to do is come back over here to your teacher copy and copy all the slides. So go to the top one and then hit Shift and go to the bottom one and then Control C. Copy all of your slides. Come back over here to your student copy and paste all of your slides. And this slide's going to pop up, and this is really important. You want to link and keep the originals. All right. Once you've done that, you've got this blank slide up here at the top, and you can just go ahead and delete that one. We don't need that one anymore. So now if I go back over here to my teacher copy, you've got to have all of your slides in there. So even if some of them are blank, you got to make sure all your slides are there. But if I go back over here to my teacher copy and I do something new, if I add something here, so like if this were actually a teacher notebook, you might have like a completely blank slide for a journal prompt or something, and she shows this and demonstrates it better. I just happen to use this one because this was here, okay? So if I, had something blank in here and I made this a journal prompt, I'll fix this later so that if you guys want to use this for yourself, it doesn't have all of this in here. When we go back into the student copy, it says update. So the students are going to have that. They're going to get the update. And when they update it, so anything that you add to the slides as you go through, that's going to happen. So it's really nice that you can go ahead and do this, continue to update things, and you don't have to have everything exactly the way you want it, all right? So I think this would be really helpful for teachers as they're doing the interactive notebook. They would just need to have the basic structure, know how many slides they want to have, make sure that they had everything kind of spaced out, but then they could continue to update things as they went along. So that I think would be awesome. Priority workspaces in Drive. If you haven't seen this yet, I think this is really nice. Workspaces gives you a spot to kind of keep all of your things together that you're working on and group them together. So as I was working on things for this presentation, I was able to put all my files together so I can view this workspace. I have my other presentation that I was working on, I had my Google Doc where I had all my notes together. I had another one that I kind of used as inspiration for this presentation that I'm giving right now. I was able to put all this stuff together and kind of group things, kind of keep all my notes together. Current files, that's just another workspace that I have. So as I was working on everything, again, you can put in Google Docs, Google Presentations, PDFs, put everything together and add your files. Google will even suggest things for you. And then you can pull over anything that you've got most recently. Sorry, I apologize. My computer's kind of slow sometimes. And then you can just click and drag. And there's an insert button kind of hidden back there. So I can just insert and it'll pull them in. And all you have to do is hit add files to get that window to pop up over there. So I find this kind of helpful, especially as I start working on something new. That would be Priority Drive. And then adding placeholders for images in Google Slides. This was a video that Paula from Slides Mania put together. And again, I think I told you this already, but there's a video that walks you through how to add content, how to push content out to Google Slides for interactive notebooks. But this video talks about making placeholders for Google images in Google Slides. So if you want to kind of push that out to students, have your own slide presentation, but you want the kids to put something in there, she's got a really nice video that she's already made for how to do that. And she'll walk you through all of that. But here's the image. You can have the text over there and you can create those images. You can make the placeholder in your Google slide and all they have to do is replace whatever, they do the find and replace instead of just adding the images. And the nice part about doing find and replace is that whatever size you have created, the image will fill that instead, and it'll shrink it down instead of just cutting it off. So you can go ahead and go back and watch that. It's really short, and plus I love listening to her accent as well. But I think that is basically all I had. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.